I'm Andrew Edwards, you're watching Gear Live, and this is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. This year, Apple's biggest iPhone doesn't just bring a bigger display and longer battery life. The iPhone 12 Pro Max also sports the best camera that Apple has ever put in a smartphone, and some might say it's the best camera put in any smartphone. In this video, I tell you all about it. This video is brought to you by Halide, the camera app with the best photography tools on iOS. Stay tuned to find out more. What's going on, Tech Squad? Andrew Edwards here, and as I mentioned today, I'm giving you my thoughts on the iPhone 12 Pro Max camera. And why the 12 Pro Max in particular is because this year Apple has blessed the Pro Max with a few extra features that make it the best camera on any iPhone, and we're gonna talk about why. By the way, the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the iPhone 12 mini, which I did a review on a couple of days ago, will be released at the end of this week. Now, before we jump in, just to set the stage, every image and video clip that I shot with the iPhone 12 Pro Max that you see in this video is unedited. Everything was just point and shoot with no adjustments to anything afterwards. Additionally, I did also take the same photos using an iPhone 12 Pro and a Google Pixel 5, and I will have videos comparing those dropping soon. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell icon to be sure you don't miss when those camera comparisons go live. Okay, let's get to some images while I give you a rundown of what makes the iPhone 12 Pro Max camera so special. When looking at the iPhone 12 Pro Max camera module when compared to the standard iPhone 12, you may not notice any difference at first glance, but take a closer look and you'll notice that the camera module on the 12 Pro Max is not only larger, but the lenses themselves come out further from the back of the phone, and the glass on the lenses is even further still. So right off the bat, we see that it's not just extra software tricks that Apple has given the 12 Pro Max, it actually has bigger, better hardware built in. Now, how much bigger? The sensor in the iPhone 12 Pro Max main wide camera is 47% larger than the standard iPhone 12 and iPhone 11 Pro, giving it an 87% improvement in light gathering. This allows it to take in more light in any situation, allows for more depth of field, and all in all gives the iPhone 12 Pro Max photos a bit of a different look. The wide camera is capable of hitting a max ISO of just over 7600. That's compared to 5808 on the regular 12 Pro and 3072 on the iPhone 11 Pro. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max is up 85%, making it the highest ISO sensitivity by far. Again, that makes taking photos and videos in low light a lot easier, and they have a lot less noise. The iPhone 12 Pro Max also uses sensor shift stabilization, which moves the sensor itself around to reduce vibrations rather than the lens, making it more effective at reducing vibrations when taking photos or shooting video content. One bonus here is capturing action shots. I spent some time taking some pictures of a few puppies, and they wouldn't stop moving. I mean, non-stop. So in my mind, I'm thinking, man, I wanted to take some cute puppy pics to give my viewers something cute to look at while I talk about this camera, and they're just all over the place. And I was thinking I'd end up with a bunch of blurry photos, but no, it was actually the perfect use case. When compared to the images I took on the iPhone 12 Pro, the 12 Pro Max made a big difference in this scenario. If you have pets, toddlers, or kids who do sports, you'll appreciate what this camera can do. Another change is found in the telephoto lens, but before we get to that, let me give a big shout out to this video's sponsor, and one which, if you're interested in iPhone photography that you are going to want to hear about, Halide. Halide is what I believe to be the absolute best iPhone camera app for mobile photography. And I'm not just saying that because they're sponsoring this video. I actually bought Halide and have been using it since November 3rd, 2017, so just over 3 years. They recently released the huge Halide Mark II update, which gives you way more control over your photos than the built-in camera app. I'm talking manual focus, exposure settings, insane depth control, and even instant RAW photo development right in the app. And yes, while Apple's upcoming Pro RAW feature isn't out just yet, and while that feature will only work on the iPhone 12 Pro and iPhone 12 Pro Max, Halide lets you take RAW photos today on any iPhone using machine learning to optimize your RAW exposure to get less noise and more detail with a feature they call Smart RAW. The app will even give you a breakdown of the capabilities and specs of each camera on your device when you head into the technical readout feature. Seriously, if you love taking photos with your iPhone, or if you want to learn more about it, you can't go wrong with Halide Mark II. It's even got built-in lessons for beginners and is highly customizable for all you pros. Lastly, and maybe most importantly to some, Halide respects your privacy. There are no ads, and it doesn't collect or share any of your data. Hit the link in the description below to try Halide for free, and if you decide to buy the app, 2% of the proceeds go to charity. Once again, big thank you to Halide for sponsoring this video. Okay, now let's talk about the new telephoto lens in the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which now has 25% more zoom capability. You're going from a 50mm on previous telephoto lenses at 2x to a 65mm lens on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, giving you 2.5x. Now, one small note on the iPhone 11 and 11 Pro and on the current iPhone 12 Pro, you have an aperture of f2.0 on the telephoto lens. On the iPhone 12 Pro Max, you get an aperture of f2.2, which means that it takes in a little bit less light than the other phones that I just mentioned. So a little more zoom and a little less light. When taking portraits, I love that you can get great portrait shots, not just with the telephoto lens, but also the main, better wide-angle camera as well, whether you're in daylight, indoors, or outside at night. In fact, it should be said that one really cool difference on the iPhone 12 Pro Max wide camera is that since it takes in more light, often it won't even need night mode in situations where the iPhone 12 Pro does. Further, if it does recommend night mode, it's typically 2 to 3 times faster to take the night mode shot. So what I mean by that is, if on an iPhone 12 Pro, it recommends a 3-second night mode shot, on the 12 Pro Max, it'll only need a 1-second exposure to take that same shot. That means you end up with clearer and sharper images, even at night. The new LiDAR scanner lets you shoot portraits in night mode using the wide camera, which combined with the better low light performance results in night mode portraits that just look better and more detailed on the 12 Pro Max than on the 12 and even on the Pixel 5. It's very impressive, and again, I'll have comparison videos coming soon here on the channel. However, to sum it up, in low light situations, there isn't another phone out there that competes with the iPhone 12 Pro Max wide camera. The photos retain details and are less noisy and just look better. Now, if you're wondering, the ultra wide camera, which is actually the exact same across the board on all the iPhone 12 series of phones, does get a couple of small improvements. Namely, it gets higher ISO sensitivity and also now supports night mode too. So night mode is now supported on all cameras on the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, including the front camera too. Now, when it comes to video, the improvement over the iPhone 11 series of phones is immediately apparent, as the iPhone 12 line can shoot in Dolby Vision HDR. When looking specifically at the hardware on the 12 Pro Max, you'll find higher quality video, but in my opinion, it's much easier to see the differences when viewing the videos on a computer monitor or TV. Comparing the quality on a smartphone display and even the iPhone 12 Pro Max's 6.7-inch screen doesn't feel like it truly tells the whole story. Now, I did a dedicated video look at the iPhone 12 Pro Dolby Vision video capabilities, which I'll link down below. Now, when all is said and done, when you take the faster wide lens, the better stabilization, the LiDAR scanner, the fact that the sensor is so much larger, Dolby Vision video recording, and the power of the A14 Bionic chip, and put it all together, you end up with what I think is the best smartphone camera you can get your hands on today. Just about any flagship camera can take really, really nice photos in daylight or well-lit conditions. But as you move into lower light territory, that's where these devices start to struggle, and that's where Apple has pulled ahead of the pack. And this is all before Apple's upcoming Pro RAW format has been released, which the company says will give you the editing flexibility of traditional RAW images combined with the processing of Smart HDR. If that's true, then we have an even better camera coming soon, thanks to a software update. So that is the iPhone 12 Pro Max camera. Any questions you have about the iPhone 12 Pro Max, drop them down in the comments below and I'll meet you there for further discussion. Of course, the 12 Pro Max and iPhone 12 mini go on sale at the end of this week. If you're planning on picking one up, let me know down in the comments below what you chose. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, I appreciate your support. I'm Andrew Webbers, and I will catch you in the next video.